remember what y'all were saying about that movie before that Superman trailer dropped. Stay on that side. Stay on that side. Before we get started, though, I am joined by my boy Simport today. We going to just go back and forth a little bit on this new trailer, what we expect to see from the Superman movie, and just the a lot of the criticism comparisons that I picked up and noticed between Superman's trailer and it coming out and everything that came out before it, and the Batman finding out Robert Pattinson is going to be playing Bruce Wayne, this, that, and the third. Just all of the similarities that we noticed all the way leading up to their trailers coming out. Whenever you're ready. Ooh, shit, hold on. You're quiet as fuck. Forgot that I turned y'all niggas down while y'all were eating. Oh my god, now you're blasting in my ears. All right.
Is there any specific way you want me to introduce myself? Like,
brother, who are you? What do you do?
Okay.
Like, come on now. Just say hi. Something.
All right.
Give the people something. Anything.
Hey, what's up? It's Daniel, Semport. I run the Semport channel. And I am Gerald's full-time friend, long-time enemy. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
You suck at these. We'll work on them. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have an intro. You know how I start my videos. I just go into the topic.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, who the main villain from that trailer was. All I know is this actually looks like it's gonna be amazing.
I feel like it's gonna be, like, you know, a good amount of villains from the Superman Rogues Gallery.
I mean, because we saw Lex. We know he's gonna be doing something. I don't know why I don't know what he's crying about, but we know he's gonna be doing something. Lex is there. Once again, I have no idea what that big ass fucking hybrid dragon creature is that causes Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl to show up. Them being in the trailer is crazy as hell too. The trailer as a whole was just a drop in the hat, showing that they actually gave a shit about the movie and about the character. Because the way that it's portrayed from start to finish, it genuinely feels like a Superman comic that you can watch. And that's just from what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, about 2 minutes. There is this I don't know who this guy is, but it's
the Superman actor?
No, not the Superman actor. Although you do bring up a good point. I don't know who he is either. But I'm pretty
Cornsweat. I know nothing about him outside of the fact that he's Superman and he's doing good.
I feel like he's going. Yeah, I feel like this might be the start of his, like, you know, this movie's going to do well and it's going to do numbers for his career. That's 100%.
It's just crazy. I agree with you, but it's just crazy to think about how well received the trailer was in comparison to how hated the first shots and, like, on set photos and stuff that got dropped and leaked. How everyone reacted to those. How everyone was talking terrible about the cast when they first got or talking about the actors when they first got casted for their roles. All the flack that the suit caught in the one picture that we got of it, like no motion, no action, nothing. It was just a still image, and everybody was like, "See, why are we putting this in the hands of James Gunn? He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. We're getting the same baggage we got from Guardians 3." Everybody liked Guardians 3 though.
I was gonna say, like, what was wrong with Guardians 3? That shit was heat.
Top down, that was one of the best movies we got in the MCU post Endgame. And if you have an argument for it, first of all, you're wrong. Second of all, you can try to prove yourself in the comments.
There's someone in the trailer that I still don't know who this is supposed to be, but it's like this. Yeah, it's the black guy with the black mask. Like, I don't know who this guy's supposed to be.
I know his name starts with a T. I'm gonna look it up. Because I'm going to say some stupid shit like terrific.
I'm going to say something completely unrelated DC, like Flag Smasher or some shit like that.
Oh, okay. It's Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific?
I was close.
I didn't think I'd see Mr. Terrific again. Or ever.
You know, that's the same actor that played, what was that one mutant from X-Men First Class? The Darwinism adaptation.
Oh,
mutant. He was that guy as well. You know, the one person who couldn't die, that was the first person to die.
Yeah, that was insane. Oh, I still don't like the fact that they did that in X-Men First Class. It's just the part is like, you know, I can't die. Oh yeah? Let me show you.
That? You can't
let me show
die,
you how much of a threat I am by killing you.
It's like, oh, you can't die? Brother. There's always a target on your back when you are wrapped in black.
But
Back to Superman though. I think a lot of people who had negative things to say about the Superman trailer are just mainly people who cared so much for Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman or the Zack Snyder movies themselves. Because anybody who appreciates Superman, one, appreciates media, cinema, period, two, and knows what a good comic book movie looks like, three, they could tell you from this trailer that they're actually putting a lot of thought and effort into this movie. We already seeing Clark and Lois's relationship in the first two minutes of the trailer. Like, we're already going to be hitting the ground running with this movie, and I'm very much excited for it. Which brings me to another point. Why did people think that James Gunn wasn't qualified to run the DCU? Why do people think that James Gunn is a bad director? We've seen the movies. He's made some of the best movies from the last decade and a half in terms of superhero movies.
I feel like James Gunn is a director that cares about characters. I mean, people still love the first Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh yeah,
That shit was all about the characters there.
James Gunn is a very passionate director. He puts forth a lot of care into what he decides to do, which is why he took his time with all this casting and then getting these movies right, because he goes over all of the source material. He genuinely tries to find the right people for these roles. He will take those steps to make sure that this is going to feel as close to the comic book as possible, with still seeing his vision all the way through. And I got nothing but respect for that. And it kind of segues into that and all the criticism that the movie and James Gunn in that got, kind of leads me into my next point, bringing up exactly why people see these two on my screen right now. A lot of the complaints, criticisms, and just loud, nonsensical yapping that went on before the first trailer dropped for the Superman movie reminds me a lot of when the Batman trailer dropped, or right before the Batman trailer dropped. Because I still remember being in the boat of people that just could not get behind Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne or Batman. And that's simply because I had deep-seated hatred from middle school and dealing with hearing about him in the Twilight all the time.
That's got to be a home run, right? Edward's very fast.
I believe this belongs to you.
I stayed closed off for the next 10 years of my life. I couldn't stand him. I could not have been more wrong about him as an actor, though. Jesus.
If people seen the Twilight movies, they would know that Robert Pattinson put on a certain portrayal that the directors gave him. He played his role well to be an emotionally stunted vampire from that's been living for a millennia. Yeah. But if you see a lot of other of Robert Pattinson's work, I'm pretty sure he started a movie about 9/11.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's range is crazy. He's been in Tenet. He's been in Lighthouse.
Oh yeah, Lighthouse was another movie that I wanted to bring up. He was so good in that movie. It's just, people, you get casted into a certain role. People just want to hate because of that shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I was in the same boat as you though, because gotta deal with that shit back in middle school. But kids are kids, and they like to hate.
Oh yeah. I had nothing but hate in my heart back in the day when I was a child. It was crazy. Right. I was just this is the most minor inconvenience in my life, or I just don't like your face. I hate you.
But seeing in Lighthouse, it just goes to show you that he is a good actor, as well as the fact that seeing the Batman, he is the Batman in there. He is.
His portrayal of an early Bruce Wayne was so good. I understand everybody who likes The Dark Knight and that entire trilogy. Christian Bale is an amazing Bruce Wayne and an amazing Batman. And Christopher Nolan who made those movies?
Yeah.
He did an amazing job with them. But I still feel like the Batman is the closest thing to not even a real Batman movie, because The Dark Knight is a real Batman movie, but the Batman feels like a true gritty Batman movie, with a slower paced, we actually focus on the detective side of Bruce Wayne Batman story. Like I fuck with that because we haven't seen that ever since we've been alive, if I'm being honest with you, especially in terms of movie format. So the way Matt Reeves pulled that shit out his ass and Robert Pattinson's performance, dog, I don't even understand how people could begin to doubt James Gunn and David for Superman. Cause like how? The second you hear another director that actually gives a fuck about the movies he works on is working on a Superman movie and then get somebody who looks like how do you think that this is gonna fail? Unless you just have nothing but hate in your heart, how do you think this is gonna fail? It doesn't make sense.
A major difference that I noticed, for me at least, for like the Dark Knight and the Batman, is that the Batman is more of a comic book character type of movie, while the Dark Knight trilogy is just about a character film. It's a character film, and I don't think I've ever actually mentioned it in any type of forum or video. But I believe that movies are supposed to be character based and not like world based. It's supposed to be character focused. At least I think that's how strong movies are made. But
Interesting.
the difference between the two is the fact that Christopher Nolan focuses on a certain villain every single movie, and that's how it was for a long time for a lot of these superhero movies. They just focus on a singular villain, you know, killing them off and making them not come back. As in the Batman, and that was also actually the case for early MCU too. They also killed off villains as well so that they don't come back. And there's like a problem like, how do we do this again? How do we bring him back to actually make sense for film? Because comic books are comic books.
Of course, you can just bring a nigga back by wishing for it.
In the Batman, it just felt like a comic book film because not only do we don't have just one villain, we have multiple in there. We got Penguin, Falcone, we got the Riddler in there. We got the Riddler in there. We got beloved characters in there like Catwoman and James Gordon.
And the crazy thing about it is, it feels like an early stage of Batman's career rogue gallery.
Right.
It's not like you're dealing with Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Firefly, the Joker. Like, you're not dealing with none of your citywide. Like, the Riddler did something to the city at the end of the movie. Yes. Like, and first of all, that was stupid as hell. Like, I hate the rich people flood low-income neighborhoods. What? Why? You just turned the impoverished homeless.
Because fuck him. He was.
But that was the people he was trying to help.
Here's the thing, though. I don't
But
think
he also
was trying
didn't
to help
care.
anybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
He didn't care.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He just didn't give a fuck. He just wanted them.
Like,
he wanted everybody who wronged him gone. He didn't give a damn who got hurt in the process.
He wanted more, if anything. He wanted people to remember him. He wanted people to remember the Riddler's name. And like one of the things that you could do is why not claim the lives of many unimportant people in order to make yourself important.
Brother man decided it was a good idea to just level the city wall. I wonder how that's, because we still have to watch The Penguin. I forgot about that. We do have to get fully caught up on the lore of the Batman. But I'm very intrigued to see where that goes, because now that Rob's gonna be getting older, like his Batman's gonna be getting older, so he's gonna have to bring an evolution to his character and the portrayal of Batman in the next movie. I want to see if the Rogue Gallery also takes a step up. Like, we're not just dealing with Carmine Falcone, Cobblepot, and the Riddler. Like, I wonder if it's gonna get crazy. Like, Mr. Freeze pops up, and now we got some crack shit going on.
I'm gonna be real crazy. Well, it's gonna be real crazy if we get like Professor Pig in that shit. That's actually gonna be like kind of scary. Ooh. Like, imagine the Batman 2 where we had to fight the Dolatrons. Ooh. But no, like the Superman trailer that James Gunn released, it was like, it feels like the Batman type of trailer, because it feels like a comic book movie, not just like a singular film. There's a problem character, we have to defeat this problem character. No, it looks like there's gonna be multiple fucking problems that Superman needs to solve.
And these two actors really do kind of, like, in my eyes, fit their roles better than most have in the past. And that's off just seeing the trailer for the Superman movie. Like, I've seen the Batman movie. My eyes were changed. I've dedicated like 21 hours of my life to that movie. I've seen it like 6 times, 7 times. Doesn't matter. I'll watch it 3 more. I don't care. But just based off of that trailer, like, it genuinely feels like David Corn Sweat is not only Superman, but is also very much Clark Kent. Like, the way he's fumbling around the streets and fumbling around and kind of looking like a lost dog in the early parts of the trailer when they're showing off Clark Kent compared to what he has to go through as Superman. I love that juxtaposition. I love where they're going with it because it genuinely makes it feel like we're dealing with Clark Kent and Superman in the way that it felt like with Robert Pattinson. We were really dealing with an early stage Bruce Wayne and an early stage Batman, or an early stage Bruce Wayne dealing with becoming Batman. My favorite way to show the evolution of Robert's Batman in the first movie is every time he goes to Penguin's club. The first time he goes in, he literally just breaks the nose. He literally just fucks up the first 2 guards and walks down everybody until he gets to Cobblepot. Second time he goes in there as Bruce Wayne because he's just trying to get a little bit of information. Third time and final time, he uses a combination of everything, finally putting it all together and kind of just encapsulating that moment of becoming Batman and completing that infiltration without having to do no crazy shit. Like, I really like that progression. I want to see it. I want to see if there's a progression style. I don't think there will be a progression style like that for Clark in the Superman movie, but I'm interested to see what direction James Gunn decides to take the story, because it seems as though we're not starting off at the very beginning. Like, it seems like Clark may already be Superman at this point. Him and Lois already together. Like, this is just one of those times where shit's getting super serious, and this is where we get to come in and see it.
It's like, I mean, we all know the origin story of these 2 characters. Why must we continue with it? Like, we don't need to know that. I mean, it does look like we're going to be going into further his career with us, because we got Crypto the Super Dog coming in.
I was just getting ready to say that,
like,
boy. We
got
Crypto in the movie. That's how you know we're about to be eating something good. This movie is going to be magnificent. Anybody who thinks otherwise, I promise you, you are wrong. And when you spend your money to hate watch that movie and you end up liking it anyway, we won't be mad at you. We'll just welcome you over to the other side with open arms. It's that simple. It's nothing but love over here. This is where I'm going to play Starman in the background.
Fucking, ooh, I'm so excited though to see it. We have been getting a lot of, like, I didn't really like a lot
mid
of
to ass.
I didn't like a lot of the Zack Snyder
Say
movies.
it with your chest. Mid to ass. Zack Snyder's DC movies were just...
They were not for
They
me.
were something. They were movies. Some of them were good movies. Man of Steel is still a good movie in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, debates can be had, arguments can be made, because Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know what the hell they were doing.
I feel like before I said that, like, you know, movies benefit if they're character focus based. I think that's a little different with comics, not realizing that though. It's like, I want that feeling of, like, we're not closed in. We're not just closed in on these 2 main characters duking it out to see which one would win. No, we know who will win. The question is, how will those actions affect the world around them? Now, that's what I want to know about comic, because that's the thing about comics. People, that happens. You do something, it's going to affect, like
world building in comics is something that is like a very underrated storytelling mechanic, because when you see the hero or villains evolve throughout the story based on what based on the impact their actions have on the world around them and how it's constantly changing and flowing with what they're doing, those are some of, like, the best stories that we get in comics easily, in my opinion. I love stuff like that. Why is there a chip on my table? Go ahead.
If Superman destroying a sandcastle on a beach does not affect Atlantis in any way, then that shit ain't it.
Daniel, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm saying that like some of the
I'm gonna need you to break that one down for me, because that one, like, that shit went straight. That went smooth over my head in one ear and out the other.
basically it's just like, why is this character going to be relevant to the plot later on? Like what action does the main character of our film, because this is a Superman film, so like the main character gotta be Superman. But if they want to expand the movie into like more movies into a universe, because I feel like ain't that the plan for James Gunn, right?
What?
Is
Expand
James
his universe?
Gunn? Yeah.
Yeah. He's already working on a Supergirl movie.
Yeah,
that's
right.
supposed to come out next year.
So like if Superman destroys a fucking sandcastle, how would that affect Atlantis?
It would. Daniel, it wouldn't.
Okay, fine. Different example then.
Like, how about Superman fights what the fuck is his name? Doomsday. I almost called him Abomination. What the fuck is wrong with me? Superman fights Doomsday, and like suddenly half of the Atlantic Ocean is just gone. How does that affect Atlantis? Not if it destroys a sandcastle.
Nah, that's too high scale, bro. We need something low key.
Bro, my man is literally getting set on fire in the trailer of the movie. I think we're already reaching scales of shit getting serious.
Nah, that's all good, bro.
They Yamcha'd him, Daniel, at the beginning of the trailer. You saw this.
We may fucking see a giant axolotl running through the streets of Metro, whatever it's called. I forgot what's called. Metropolis. There it is. I was gonna say Metro City for Megamind.
What? Wow.
Nah, but Metropolis.
Speaking of Metro City and Megamind, I gotta rewatch Monsters vs. Aliens. This is a really good movie.
Here's my thing about. Oh my gosh. Here's my thing about that. Okay, so like Megamind's a perfect example of like. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I love Megamind, but where are the villains?
Will Ferrell really
else?
feels like Megamind. Like whenever I watch Megamind and I see that, I really think Will Ferrell is Megamind. He truly encapsulates that role.
No, but that's not what I was saying, right?
No,
I was saying like Ghost Rider. Let's compare Ghost Rider to Megamind.
You say Ghost Rider?
Yeah, the movie Ghost Rider, starring Nicolas Cage. Let's compare those two. Those two are Ghost Rider is a comic book movie. Yes, It's too close in. I feel like the world is too small in Ghost Rider.
That's because we have to focus on Nicolas Cage. He's the most important part of the movie.
But it's the same. It's the same problem with Megamind for me, because like at the end of the movie, all I ever see is that Megamind's the only villain, and then when he became a good guy, who's he fighting?
That's why there was no second movie. There was nobody left to fight. We took care of the only problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's too small. I feel like the problem with stuff like that is just like...
Well, I mean, in that case, certain movies are meant to be on a smaller scale than others. Certain movies aren't meant to expand beyond the one project that they do. So it doesn't make sense to try to add and build into a world that's not going to exist after this first movie.
Oh, no,
you want to keep the story a little bit more condensed.
That makes sense for Megamind, but it doesn't make sense for stuff like Ghost Rider, bruh.
True, unless they didn't have any intentions of going into another universe.
I guess not. Okay,
because when did Ghost Rider come out? Was that?
It came out like 2005 or something like that.
Fuck. So yeah,
I'm
about to say, I just remember it being super pre-MCU. So this was back before they had any ideas of like combining characters in a universe. Like maybe they had ideas for a second movie of Ghost Rider, but outside of that, they probably were just working on that first one and then calling it a day. Yeah,
no, but it's like I don't want it to feel like Ghost Rider. I want there to be like some kind of world, some kind of impact of the actions of these characters that they have. Like you're a superhero. Be over the top. Destroy that sandcastle. Or destroy the ocean, like you said. Fuck you.
I'm just like, dog, this fucking sandcastle. It's not gonna do anything but piss off the 2-year-old that was building it, or the 25-year-old man that was building it.
Yep, and that 25-year-old man was Lex Luthor. That's why he went bald. He got so distraught.
Yeah, Superman got that boy Lex.
Yeah,
in a bind.
Actually, how do you think Superman got Lex so pissed off this time, bro?
He got bro crying. I'm sitting here like, why is he making you that mad? What did he do to you? Why do you hate him? Well, I mean,
You
you
know-
know why Lex usually hates Superman, but like, it just feels like this one is a little bit more personal.
I feel like envy. I feel like it's definitely envy. It's like I want to be Superman. Why can't I have Superman? Why can't I have your powers and then rule the world, bro? Come on now.
Lex is just Batman if Batman was jealous.
Oh man, speaking of Batman, there's one thing I want to mention from the Batman again. Is like I rewatched the Batman, right? Just for this little discussion.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, and I also thought the same thing back when I first watched it back in 2023. I thought that guy was more fucking Two-Face than Joker.
Who?
The guy that was talking to the Riddler.
In jail?
Yeah, but I know my heart is Joker.
I mean, we all know it's Joker. He did the thing. Like, they already confirmed that whole thing. I just don't know what they're gonna do with that. My fun crackpot theory is that what is the mayor's name of the town? Real? Yeah, I think so.
Real, or something.
I think she gonna end up like Two-Face. I don't know. She seems too gung ho on making Gotham a better place and like stalwart in her resolve to do so. That it just seems like at every corner she's about to get cooked, and so she just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Oh no, that's the thing. That makes sense. What you just said makes sense, and here's why.
Oh, Bella Real, that's her name. There you go.
Yeah, and here's why. Well, here's why. In the middle of the movie, when they were doing like that whole sermon for the previous mayor, right? You know.
That bitch.
Yeah, that bruh. Belle came up to Bruce Wayne and was like, "Oh, we were trying to contact you, but your people said you were busy." And then that was the only interaction that they had in the whole entire movie. Well, you know, Bruce Wayne and Bella Real. You know, other interactions was like just.
I feel like that's gonna progress into him being more philanthropic is the word.
Yeah, philanthropic.
Yeah, to him being more philanthropic in the next movie, and then those two building more of a closer bond and stuff like that because they're both trying to do stuff. Because they both have the same goal. They're just trying to achieve it in two completely different ways.
I mean, that's how it started. Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne are friends, and then they support each other with
like
their
best friends.
So like if they were to do something like that, that would actually be insane.
Oh yeah, I would mess with that. I rock with that. Also, Jim Gordon in this movie is probably one of my favorite characters. I like this portrayal of Jim a lot. Is he even commissioner yet? No, he's not commissioner yet.
He's not commissioner. He's just lieutenant.
Yeah, he's just there. Nova, stop getting on Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I don't know why every time she turns this game on, she ends up having to turn it on 5 times.
Man, I'm excited for how the Superman's gonna go. Honestly, the lesson today though is to
give shit a chance.
just
that's
wait, okay?
That's the lesson for today. If you can take anything from today's video, give shit a chance. Because why are we hating on still images of something that's supposed to be a 2.5-hour product? Shut up. Stop complaining. Wait to make your assumptions and opinions until you get some concrete material. And until then, just relax. Just relax. We're in good hands. James Gunn knows what he's doing. Y'all just saw he casted Jason Momoa as Lobo. He's batting like 450 right now. So let him continue to cook. It's that simple.
Show that tweet of the guy saying James Gunn put Jason Momoa as Lobo. My life will be over.
That's going up right now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be funny. But nah.
If you don't like how James Gunn portrays his movies, damn.
To be honest with you, I feel like you're missing out. But to each his own. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
That's a damn shame, isn't it?
A quite right, proper shame, isn't it? But let's go ahead and call it there. This was a nice little back and forth.
There weren't a lot of jokes in this little. This is more of a serious little talk video for us.
Sometimes you have to lock in and get things done. I hope you all enjoyed this video, though. Appreciate you, Daniel, for joining along. And I know you're in the background, muted up. You don't have to say hi, but we know you're there.
You think?
Let me finish my outro. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Take that.
Oh shit! Hang on. Before we finish off the video, I just want to talk about this scene. Remember that one scene in the Batman where he was just jumping off the roof of where he was. I forgot where
From
he
the police
was.
station after he punched Gordon.
Yeah. Where he punched Gordon. Like he was flying, and he just said, he turned on his parachute, and then
And wiped the fuck
he
out.
fucking hit his cranium on the bridge, and that shit was so funny. But I feel like that was so.
He
I
didn't
feel
use
like
that shit for the rest of the movie.
I was like trying to figure out what was the point of that, and I was like, I guess this just goes to show you that this
It's a
Batman ain't
green-
really
I'm
there
gonna say
yet.
this is a green Batman. Every Batman we've seen before gliding with a cape. He had a wingsuit and still crashed. He's not there yet.
He's not there yet. Yep. But like that shit was so funny. Anyways, good
right,
night,
y'all.
everybody.
Good night, y'all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever it is you may be. And we shall catch you all on the side that flips, dips, and trips bitches. Deuces.
We